Hey everyone, welcome to the Checker Chat. I'm Justin.
I'm Blake.
I'm going to try and say that not while Blake is drinking water this week.
Yeah, we learned our lesson last week on that.
I went back and watched that probably 4 or 5 times.
I'm surprised that didn't end up on TikTok.
I mean, there's still a chance.
No, there is.
Don't give me too many ideas.
I'll try not to.
But we are coming off of a great race weekend at Talladega. We were in attendance for this race, so just a little fair warning when we talk about the Cup race, because some of I think some of the discourse online is coming more so from the Fox broadcast, at least kind of from what I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, some of it does have to do with the racing product itself.
For sure. I think that the Fox broadcast just was almost like insult to injury with it. But
eight to go, they did a side-by-side caution.
Yeah, that's awesome for them to do.
Well, and then my dad brought this up. I don't know why I haven't put two and two together and noticed this year, or at least just brought it up. But he said when they got to 20 to go, the broadcast was like, and from here on out, we're going to have no more commercials sponsored by Toyota. And then basically it wasn't a quote-unquote commercial.
Because when they go side by side, they're like, oh, it's not a commercial.
Yeah, and it was just like Toyota branded side-by-side.
Oh.
So they tried to loophole that it's not a commercial by that.
Yeah.
But then 8 to go, they just go side by side again.
Yeah, hearing that was a little crazy to me, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
because those last the last 10 laps were just insane.
Yeah, and I get what some people were saying online about kind of, well, there wasn't the greatest opportunities for passing. Nobody could really get runs unless it was fuel saving. Like the pack was fuel saving, and then the third line formed because they were going all out. I get it, but it wasn't parade 500 parade laps around Martinsville.
No, for sure.
It wasn't Larson leading almost 400 laps at Bristol.
Yeah.
Sure, it wasn't the greatest super speedway race, the greatest Talladega race, but it still had action. And I won't say too much more to ruin when we get into it. But
I feel like all the complaints are just kind of like general super speedway with this car complaints.
Yeah.
It's nothing new that none of these complaints have never been said before. Going to commercial with 8 to go is kind of crazy, but
yeah.
That's a new one. Way to go, Fox.
You've outfoxed yourself.
Yeah, you've outfoxed yourself. You really foxed it up. But yeah, so we were there. It was a lot of fun. I feel like we should talk about the when Cindric won, how we were freaking out.
Oh yeah,
and the guys behind us were like looking at us weird because
I'm wearing all Chase Elliott stuff.
I'm wearing Blaney stuff.
I booed Logano all day. Like on the outside, I don't look like I should cheer for Penske in the slightest, but I have no issue with Cindric. If you've listened to this podcast consistently, or at least on Super Speedway weeks, I give him his flowers and say that I do think that he's probably the best super speedway racer currently right now in the Cup Series.
Definitely.
That shows, I think, a lot of times when you go to these kind of races. But then, too, like me and you have talked about, and I've seen other people kind of say, is it's not like a stick and ball sport where you're going to a Braves game and they're playing the Reds. Well, if you like the Braves, you want the Braves to win. You're not happy if the Reds win, and vice versa. But you go to a NASCAR race, just because you like Chase Elliott doesn't mean that you don't have other people that you still like.
Yeah.
I'm not going to walk around in Austin Cindric merch. It's nothing against him. It's just I'm not that big of a fan, but I have a a list of people that I like, and if they're doing good and my guy isn't, or my guy doesn't have the shot to win, then obviously I'm going to root for them. It just makes it more fun.
No, I agree, definitely. Especially when your favorite driver gets, wrecked out at the end of stage 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, just all watching the end cars, you just see Blaney just sliding, just flying across the screen. I'm like, great. And then they take it back to the garage. I'm like, okay, maybe they'll repair it, maybe they'll come back out and be in contention like Kyle Busch was. And because they brought him back to the garage and he came back out and he was shaping up for a top 5.
I didn't know I thought they just kept taping it up on pit road and stuff.
I think, you know what? No, they didn't. They didn't bring him back to the garage. Either way, he was involved in that incident.
Yeah.
But was still in contention until he gets a speeding penalty entering and exiting pit road.
Which I forgot to look up. Again, I don't know everything about this sport, so make fun of me if you'd like to. But I meant to look up, is that just one penalty, or do you get 2 for entering and exiting?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't feel like I've seen a lot in the past few years of multiple sections they were speeding.
Yeah,
so
no, I don't think that I've ever.
I meant to look it up.
Yeah, I haven't looked it up or ever seen it before. Because when it flashed up on the screen, I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" I'm like, "This is stupid." But that's enough about our Dega weekend. You guys also can check out. Also, I need to say something. Last week, I talked about a bonus episode coming from a TikTok Live.
Oh, yeah.
That TikTok Live did not save. And if anyone watched it, I'm so sorry for my phone's reception, because apparently it was extremely choppy and kind of hard to watch. So
yeah, well, apparently someone wasn't connected to their in-home Wi-Fi either for said
normally
event.
the in-home Wi-Fi here isn't that good.
That's fair.
So, but either way, but what we did end up doing was we did a little race day vlog for Dega.
Yeah.
And it's up on our TikTok and our YouTube. It's 7 minutes long, but it's got everything that we did just about.
Yeah.
And you can watch us freaking out over the ending of that race.
Yeah. I mean, you would have thought that we bet like $20,000 on Austin Cindric to win, and we were about to win enough money to buy a house.
Your reaction when I turned the camera to you when he won had me in tears, dude.
Because I think we've talked about too, the playoff race at Talladega last year. Again, not a Cindric fan, but how much it sucked.
Watching
him get wrecked again when he's out in front of a super speedway race. So I mean, honestly, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, he's getting wrecked at some point.
Yeah,
he's not gonna win, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we may have consumed some adult beverages that contributed to said reactions, but
Busch Apple is back.
Yes.
We're back. We're so back. But yeah, no. I remember early in the race, I think I leaned over to you, and I also texted to Mal. I was like, I like Cindric's strategy, because it seems like he's not trying to run up in the front to get caught up in the big one, which never happened. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, the strategy worked out.
Yeah.
They were in the right place, right time.
Yeah, because I feel like too, how I kind of touched briefly on the fuel saving. You could form a third line, move to the front. I mean, they went 4 wide a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt like he rode when he needed to, and he was up there in contention for stage wins. And then he was up there in contention at the end, obviously, because he won. But
yeah, I mean, he had a good day all around. Dug himself out of that points hole from the whole Coda incident.
Yeah.
Which was nice to see for sure. And the crazy thing about this, and this kind of will stem into our news, and this is a little ways down in our news, but I'll go ahead and talk about it. Whether he comes in first or second, he wins the race because Ryan Preece gets DQ'd for having too many shims.
They added shims to like the bolts
on the spoiler.
Yeah. And I think they're not even gonna try to appeal it either.
None of the penalties from Cup are being appealed.
I mean, let's be honest. You added too many shims. Let's be real. You were kind of playing with fire there and forcing the issue. I'm not gonna say you were cheating and doing it on purpose or anything, but but there's a reason they're not appealing it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then also Joey Logano. Sorry, y'all. Joey Logano gets DQ'd after tag.
Thank God.
After him getting his first top 5 of the season, your reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion.
The only top 5 he could get this year came from a cheating car.
Yep. But his was because there was a bolt missing or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I forgot which team it was, but I saw one of the teams on Twitter. It was like one of the smaller Cup teams. They had a mechanical issue where they didn't finish, and they tweeted out a picture of the radiator when they got back and took the car apart, and one of the pieces that came off of Joey's spoiler went into their radiator.
Oh my God, that's funny. It's like, hey, y'all want this back? But yeah, so that was kind of like one of the big things after the race that happened. I mean, I think we were sitting in the truck in the parking lot, and I was like, Logano and Preece got DQ'd like that.
It was somewhere in the realm of the parking lot to dinner.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out the Panda Express in Anniston.
Yeah.
That was like the best Panda Express I've ever had in my life. Could be due to all the bapples, but yeah, so they get DQ'd. So that's your second place and your fifth place. They end up finishing getting
38th and 39th.
38th,
so
39th.
Even the people that got wrecked out early finished better than them.
So Blaney didn't finish dead last. Let's go.
Let's go. We're so back.
So yeah, that was seeing Logano get DQ'd was just like
I mean it just made the day
to my
better.
Ears. Music to my ears. Pure cinema.
Yeah.
It was especially after some of the events of the race.
Yeah.
But so Jake Garcia ends up not qualifying for what would have been his first Xfinity race at Dega. That's that.
Yeah, I mean
basically.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I don't know why I totally missed this, but NASCAR is planning on straightening out that wall on the backstretch where Bell hit, because he wouldn't have hit the wall that hard if it wasn't for the way that wall is
because he went in at an angle, but the wall kind of comes out at an angle too.
It's similar to Bowman Gray, the way it juts out.
Oh yeah, which
I mean, it's not like stands
You're right.
make it jut out, but
Yeah.
it juts out either way.
And like the reason it's like that is because they have multiple. It's basically for overlap, so they can leave a hole in the wall right there to send safety trucks and personnel out.
Yeah.
I really just think. I mean, it's good that they're doing this. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is just one of those things where they've got away with it for so long, and then something happens, you have to do something about it.
Yeah. Honestly, because that was a hard hit.
Yeah. I mean, the hood instantly just folded over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Front end was. I mean, it was bad.
Which,
to touch on that, I love how quickly we can be like, oh, hey, that's not a great design of the racetrack. Let's fix it. How about we fix the damn race car that has a bad design?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We should.
But, like, you can, in, what, two and a half days, wow, that was a big hit. Maybe we should fix something. Well, the car sucks. Maybe we should fix it. But no.
Yeah. No, that was...
Year 3,
Year
Still
3.
kicking.
Yeah.
No real changes.
But
Sorry.
no, you're good. The next news topic, I'm gonna let Blake take it because he's looked a little more into this than I have.
Do you want to deep dive it now or save that for later? Just
We can deep dive it now.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
So during the race, Joey Logano goes on a rant, over radio to the team about Cindric.
He pushed a freaking Toyota to a stage win.
Yeah.
Great job, Austin. Text us your notes.
Yeah. That's the clean version, basically, for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, going back and rewatching everything, because again, mind you, we were at the track. Did Logano want to get wrecked?
Yeah.
Because, initially I was like, oh, it's where in turns 3 and 4, Bubba got pushed out to the lead by Cindric. But I was like, all Cindric's trying to do there is have where Bubba has to defend both of them, and then that gives one of them an opportunity to make a move around Bubba. No, he was mad that Cindric checked up and didn't wreck him in half the field.
Yeah.
Which, hate to break it to you, Joey, but not everybody races that way on the super speedways. Not everybody is like you.
Or Brad.
Yeah. But also, again, okay, if this is for the win of a race,
that's one thing.
I'm not going to say it's warranted because, I get it. You have a helmet on, you're in the car, you're going through a lot more than everybody else. There's emotions running.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. It's a little more warranted if that is for the end of the race and you lose on that.
Yeah.
I still prefer you handle that after the race with your teammate. If it's somebody else, again, I don't think this is a huge deal. I just think it's Joey being Joey at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But so Chipper Jones went on a Twitter rant about him. He's not a big fan, so we share that. Also, Chipper Jones is my favorite MLB player of all time. So
go Braves.
Yes, sir. Go Braves. Basically, he just kind of reacted like all of us would, all of us that don't like Joey Logano would. He just has a bigger platform. More people saw it. Well,
sorry about that.
Joey was doing some sort of media, he had some sort of media availability with the All-Star race stuff. Somebody asked him about it, and he basically, to just put it, Cliff Notes it, give you the summary, he said he doesn't understand how somebody who has played a sport and was a professional athlete would feel the way that he does about the situation, and then basically said the only reason that he's doing this is to stay relevant. Well, hate to break it to you, he's relevant. He's one of the, if not the greatest Braves player of all time.
He's the most recognizable.
Other than Hank Aaron.
Yeah. Modern day.
Yeah, modern day, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Joey's personality makes him very easy to not like. Yeah. It is what it is. At this point, I can't really sugarcoat it anymore. I'm a professional Joey Logano hater on the podcast.
And in person.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that now it's on the podcast. But I don't know. He kind of, in his defense of it all, just whines more.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Oh my God, somebody talked bad about me on Twitter. That hurt my Get over it.
Yeah.
You're a grown man.
Yeah, you're a grown man who
whines about literally everything.
Yeah, and your profession has you in a spotlight. So,
yeah.
Everything that you do on the track and off the track is under a microscope from a fan base.
Right.
So, yeah, he gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
Hope we never meet him. Or if we do.
We can be professionals.
We can be professionals. We can ask him some dumb questions.
Yeah.
He won't answer dumb questions, though.
if you watch what is it, Chat Us Up on TikTok? Is that the page
so.
that like asks everybody?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned him. Who's the other one? Oh, Justin Haley. Him and Justin Haley just like stop asking them questions.
Yeah, because they're gonna give you the most like white bread, boring answers.
You know, I've never seen a movie before in my whole entire life. I've never ate like, okay, just
if it doesn't align with my sponsors, then,
yeah,
you know, I'm sorry, but like, I guarantee you, Joey, Denny, Suarez, the whole Coca-Cola racing family,
they drink stuff other than Coke.
I don't even think that they drink Coke. I think that those are all. I mean, I know this happens for some sponsors when it comes to drinks and
like
stuff. Monster and stuff.
Like they have tour waters.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I'm not saying that obviously it's in a clear bottle, so the Coke is obviously Coca-Cola. But
yeah.
They don't actually drink it. It's a prop.
Or they take a sip or two of it.
The only person in the Coca-Cola racing family I could see actually drinking a Coca-Cola is Austin Dillon. That's it. That's the only person I could see actually doing
fair.
it.
But like on that topic though about the Chat Us Up thing, and again I know this part's taking longer than we expected, but
is what it is.
They did one for Cletus. Mm-hmm. Mind you, Cletus' sponsor for ARCA is Kinetic or whatever, that drink. Mm-hmm. They ask him, so you're on a road trip. You go to a gas station. What are you grabbing? A Mountain Dew. Was Mountain Dew sponsoring his car? No.
Honest.
Is he also partially an owner in Kinetic? Yes. But, I mean, just because you're sponsored by Napa doesn't mean you can't go to Advanced Auto Parts and buy autos.
Yeah.
Like,
if you need a set of spark plugs, you're gonna go to the closest one.
Maybe you just have like the real good hookup, whatever the case may be. But just because you're sponsored by somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you can't enjoy other things. You just can't be photographed with said thing or like walk around the racetrack with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you, it's not like, oh yeah, with my my quinoa and harissa chicken bowl that I eat before my race with my Brussels sprouts in it and everything, this nice healthy meal, I'm gonna have a Coca-Cola with it.
Yeah,
that's more on what I'm specifically with the Coca-Cola people.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
This was a long tangent, but yes. Sometimes the drinks they carry are props.
Yeah, I agree.
So next we've got Austin Green and Matt DiBenedetto. This
words are hard. Compilations going crazy.
It's gonna go insane. We're gonna have to do it.
We might have to do one like at the halfway point of the season if they keep adding up.
Yeah, they probably.
We'll give you like a part 1 and maybe. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll give a part 1, part 2. Maybe we have to do more parts. We'll see how hard words are for Justin.
Don't worry, it'll be for the whole entire podcast. I'll get your spit take from last week on there. So they both receive L1 penalties after pre-race inspection found modifications to the rear bumper cover. The teams will be fined $25,000 each and lose 20 driver and owner points and 5 playoff points.
Which, like, Austin Green didn't even make the race.
Yeah. So really, Matty D, that's the only one.
And, like, I understand penalty, this, that, the other, but, like, there couldn't have been a competitive advantage to that if he didn't make the race.
Well, the thing is, I feel like they probably had to issue the penalty prior to the race. So, yeah, I mean...
No, yeah, and I'm not saying just because he didn't make the race he shouldn't get it, but, like, performance... I mean, penalty is a penalty, whatever, understand that. But, like, I don't think there was a significant speed or performance advantage.
Yeah, obviously, he didn't make the race.
Yeah. Shout out Austin Green. Don't even know who you are, but you're doing great.
Yeah. You'll
get him next time.
Yeah, you'll make a race next time, buddy. So Zilich is ruled out of the Xfinity race for Texas due to a lower back injury from that last lap caution in Dega.
Yeah.
Another hard hit. I mean, not as hard as Bell. It didn't look like it, but I mean, honestly, I think that it's probably just erring on the side of safety.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
and I think too, like, because me and Lily were talking today, and she said it kind of reminded her of like Bowman's whole back injury thing. Like, they rushed Bowman back so he could try to make the playoffs, and his racing suffered because of it. Probably took him longer to recover. You know, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, you're already locked in the playoffs. You know you're going to get a medical waiver.
Yeah.
Just sit out a week, see how if it makes you feel better. Because, I mean, ultimately, if you have an injury, you don't necessarily, like, need to just rush and get right back in the car when you could make it worse. Like,
no,
I mean, I don't really
100%.
know what the extent of the back injury is, because that was kind of all I read was just lower back injury, but...
Yeah, so in his place, we'll have Kyle Larson sub for him at Texas. And I find this extremely interesting because on the Dale Jr. download, Dale kind of, after Larson stated after Bristol, he was like, I want to embarrass the Xfinity field and all this stuff. Dale's like, he's like, all right, you want to do that? Come run more races.
Yeah.
And I feel like when they decided for Zilish to not run in Texas, he knew exactly who to call.
Yeah.
It's funny that it just so happens to be, the greatest driver in NASCAR right now. Debatable, but I'm the greatest driver in NASCAR right now. Air quotes around that.
Yeah, I'm better than Max Verstappen. Apparently, that guy.
Yeah, apparently when he just every other week runs into the wall for no reason.
Yeah. But shortly, just to touch on the whole Kyle Larson saying he wanted to embarrass the field and everything, I understand where he's coming from. Did it come off a little cocky? Yes. Is that kind of Kyle Larson sometimes? Yes. Does he need to run more Xfinity races? No. There's a reason that they can only run 5 a year. No, it's not so we can hand out participation trophies and say, oh, congrats, you won because the Cup guys didn't come down this weekend. I just feel like when the bushwhacking was in full effect and you had Harvick go down and win a championship while he was still running Cup, Boyer did the same thing. I mean, the most notorious probably Kyle Busch. Yeah. Like, you had all these people going down there and just winning every week. Yes, it takes wins away from the people in that series, but it sets back the talent.
Yeah.
Because you're just taking up cars.
I agree. I mean,
like, it is a good sample size that you can run 5 races a year in the said series.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I don't think we need to make it unlimited runs or anything, but I think that sometimes, it's listed at you can run a max of 5.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger name drivers I think should race more, but I'm saying that because before this he had 2 Xfinity starts on the schedule. Homestead and Bristol.
Sounds right.
I don't think he has any more.
I don't think he maxed it out at 5.
That's the thing. I'm not saying that everybody should max it out, but I think like 3 is a good number for like a top guy. Like I wish that Denny would come down and run an Xfinity.
Well, he tweeted something this week and said if the opportunity presents itself, he wants to go down and run a Joe Gibbs Xfinity car at a super speedway race.
Yeah, no, yeah, I remember. He said that on his podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that some of these guys, even like the lower name people. I mean, when was the last time you saw Ricky Spenhouse?
When he won championships in the Xfinity series.
There you go.
Yeah, like
it doesn't happen anymore for some of these guys. I think they should have there should be a maximum and then a minimum requirement.
Yeah, because that's not terrible. I see where you're going with this.
I think that the guys coming down, Larson's going to come down and embarrass the whole field.
Depending on the track,
Depending on the track, yes. But I think that if you have, maybe a driver who's not necessarily the greatest in Cup come down and run, he's still going to have more experience and more, like the Xfinity guys will learn from him.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I think it's good that they can have some races of the year to, measure up where they're at compared to the people currently running on Sundays and in the series that they want to go to.
Yeah.
I think that it needs to stay kind of where it is for the balance of everything. But like it's not like I don't want to see it where they can't go down and run anymore.
Yeah, no.
Because that's kind of lame. But
I think introducing the minimum would be an interesting thing at least. But yeah, so that was Larson going to Xfinity, and then Jesse Love is to run the 62 car for Beard Motorsports at Texas. I'm excited for this because that Beard Motorsports car this weekend, I mean, I know it was a super speedway.
Yeah, I was about to say temper our expectations here a little bit.
Yes, it was a super speedway, but it looked good. I mean, I know it probably won't transfer at all to Texas.
Probably
but
not.
I mean, coming off of that week, I think there's a little more eyes on Beard Motorsports for sure, which will be cool. And plus, Jesse Love is one of my favorite Xfinity drivers, so I love seeing him getting starts in Cup.
Which, I mean, not to go down like a huge rabbit hole, but one of your current Cup Series drivers right now, when he was in the Xfinity Series, made starts at super speedways in the Beard Motorsports car, and that was Gregson.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. I mean, that's a car that has been used to get Cup hopefuls extra seat time.
Yeah,
I think with the RCR races he's going to run this year, or was it just Bristol? I can't remember. But he ran Bristol, and then he has this, and I think a couple more maybe with the 62.
Yeah.
I think that's trending in a direction of we're going to see Jesse Love in the Cup Series sooner rather than later.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm excited for it.
As long as they don't rush him, I'm excited for it.
Yeah. No, I mean, give him the seat time experience that he needs, and then give it maybe 1-2 more seasons.
Yeah.
At most 2. And then, Austin Dillon retires. And then give him
Kyle Busch leaves RCR to go maybe win a race.
Go to 2311. Please. I don't know if I said that loud enough. Please. Yeah, because if Kyle Busch goes to 2311, I will be the biggest 2311 fan that exists. I'm going to just throw that out there. But that's all we got on news. That was
all we got. Not like we didn't just spend forever on it.
Yeah, no, that was literally like probably the longest news segment that we've done. But on to Xfinity. Blake, what happened?
Stage 1, we saw Jesse Love win. And then in Stage 2, we saw Austin Hill win.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. So then we'll get into some of the wrecks. Also, if you want to let us know how you feel, we're going to try and feel less robotic and be like, lap this, lap that, and go through it. We're kind of going to try to be a little more free-flowing. And, I mean, obviously, as you probably saw by the notes, but
yeah.
We're trying something different.
We're a new podcast. This is the first season that we've done this.
We're in our rookie year,
Our rookie year. We got our rookie stripe or whatever.
Well, that doesn't
exist do that
anymore.
But yeah. So I mean, let us know what you think. I think we kind of like this a little bit better. After last week, is kind of what we did, and we're like, this kind of feels a little more.
I think this way maybe our personalities show better through it, and it's less like lap 127, Jeb Burton gets into the wall.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys can go and read a race breakdown of everything that happens, but you listen to a podcast
for people's
half for the information, half for the opinion and the personality.
Yeah.
So, So the Xfinity race, I mean, no shock there. It was, an
RCR domination.
Yeah, I mean, that's just all. It seems like all super speedways are just RCR playgrounds.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they ought to have a thick notebook for how long Austin Hill's been in a Xfinity car with them. And
Very true.
I mean, he's the super speedway merchant. So,
Mm-hmm.
So then for some notable incidents, Jeb Burton gets into Sammy Smith in turn 1, spins him. It also ends up collecting Ryan Sieg, Parker Retzlaff, and Josh Williams. And because of how much rain there was at Talladega over the weekend, when Ryan Sieg touched the grass, I mean, it looked like a bomb went off under the hood. It just exploded the
dirt
the
flying.
front clip off.
Yeah, no, that was nuts.
Yeah. And I mean, really, I could be wrong, but from what I remember, he didn't necessarily get contact in the actual wreck. He lost control trying to avoid the wreck and then slid through the grass.
Yeah,
and if it hadn't rained so much, he was fine.
Yeah.
Just a bad deal on that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was the only DNF from Xfinity, I think.
Did I don't remember if Leg ended up finishing or not. No, I don't think Almirola or Leg finished, actually.
Never mind. Disregard what I just said.
You can go double check and fact check that if you want. I'll take a little more of this.
Yeah.
But speaking of Almirola and Catherine Legg, Almirola decides he wants to move up and, ride the momentum of the top lane, which in theory is a good idea if you're clear, in which case he wasn't. And he takes himself and Catherine Legg out. And then Jeffrey Earnhardt and Brandon Jones also get damage in it. But, not to get too much on my soapbox about the Catherine Legg stuff again, but why are we not bashing Eric Almirola the same way we bash Catherine Legg for something that isn't her fault when he just forgets how to drive a race car?
Yep.
I mean,
I can't find where it says
no, you're good.
DNF or not.
I don't know. Personally, I think that's dumb. I mean,
yeah.
Everybody makes mistakes. That's fine. If you're a NASCAR fan and you go on NASCAR Twitter or whatever form of social media you like, NASCAR fans are very opinionated. NASCAR fans always complain.
They're only happy when they're complaining.
Yeah, literally. I mean, so just, if you're going to bash one person for it, why not bash somebody else for,
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah.
Basically.
But the difference is if Catherine Legg did it, she at least has the not as much experience.
Yeah,
not to say excuse, but
that being in it.
Yeah,
because
you're not Eric Almirola that's ran how many years in the Cup Series and Xfinity Series already?
Yeah.
I mean, you're 40-something.
Mm-hmm.
Just go be with your family and stop ruining Xfinity Series races, please.
Go home, Unc.
Yeah, go home, Unc. You're drunk.
So then the next notable deal is Zilich. It's actually last lap this happens.
Yeah.
Zilich gets kind of turned and then goes into the wall and then has a back injury, and we talked about that.
Yeah.
So at this point, this is on the last lap, and it basically at the time of caution leads to a photo finish.
Yeah.
And your winner is Mr. Super Speedway Merchant himself, Austin Hill.
Yeah.
But this photo finish was between Austin Hill, Jesse Love, and Jeb Burton.
Which, Jeb Burton fan or not, it's pretty hard to watch his post-race interview and not feel...
I mean, the dude was tore up about it.
Which, I will say, I understand why he thought he won. I probably would too.
The camera angle that they kept
But they
showing,
picked such a awful camera angle.
Yeah.
I mean, because the angle of it, you can see what he's saying, but also if you look at both their front wheels, Austin Hill won.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will say this, because of how inconsistent NASCAR has been this year on throwing cautions on the last lap of drafting tracks. I mean, I know he got injured in that, but that track is so big, you can send safety personnel out to check on one driver, and they're going to be backed down in speed by the time they make it back to the backstretch. They don't have to come around and make a whole nother lap. This is it.
Yeah.
Run it to the line, let them know on the radio.
Hey, afterwards,
yeah,
slow down.
Like,
because
back it down more than normal when, like, in
Mm-hmm.
turns 1 and 2. There's somebody wrecked on the backstretch.
Yeah. I think that would have made more sense than what did happen. I mean, because he rolled what seemed like forever into the wall. I mean, from the point of wreck to hitting the wall.
I mean, they've made at least a quarter of the backstretch
before he even
because the
hit
photo
the wall.
finish was like going into the turn.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just inconsistency that happens with those.
Yeah.
But
Which, I mean, honestly, they probably did the right thing by throwing the caution to make sure he's safe. That's fine. But I just want to preface that by saying I'm not saying screw the driver's safety and everything. But
the thing is,
they've opened Pandora's box with how they've acted so far this year.
With cautions, for sure. Because, I mean, a caution's a caution. So
yeah.
throw a caution, whether, you know, like, just be consistent. That's all I'm asking. But your top 10 was Austin Hill, Jeb Burton, Jesse Love, Justin Allgaier, Matt DiBenedetto. I don't know if I didn't pronounce that right. Whatever.
DiBenedetto. I mean,
Benedetto, whatever. Anthony Alfredo, Blaine Perkins, Harrison Burton, Sheldon Creed, and then Daniel Dye.
Which, shout out to, again, this is Talladega, so you get some interesting names sometimes in the top 10. Matt DiBenedetto, Anthony Alfredo, Blaine Perkins, Harrison Burton, and Daniel Dye. So, I mean, half your top 10 are arguably people that you don't normally see have that good of a finish.
For sure. I mean,
Alfredo
had a good weekend just all around.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll get into that a little more.
And
and then Jeb Burton almost winning. I mean, that's awesome.
And then Harrison Burton, after a year of doing Cup and then coming back down and having this top 10, I mean, I'm sure that feels good.
Well, that and, like, he's turned that team completely around from where they were last year.
I want to say, because last week he finished top 10 too. Hold on. I got it.
You got it? Okay. But Blaine Perkins and Jeb Burton both are Jordan Anderson racing cars. So, I mean, that's two cars from the same small team finishing in the top 10.
Yeah, no, he finished top 3 last week.
Top 3. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so
a win's coming his way sooner rather than later in the Xfinity Series,
for sure.
I think.
Yeah, he needs it. I'm excited for him. I mean, it seems like this, like you said, he's just turning this team around.
And I mean, I think that's. I mean, I don't know if this is gonna sound exactly how I want it to, but I think that's why he was brought there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, you want him to win races and have a shot at a championship, but also you're getting a very experienced Xfinity driver who also has Cup experience to come down and work together, you and him, to build the team up, build him up, make everybody better at the same time. It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
It's things you actually really like to see in the sport, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Not that, I'm not a Hendrick fan and you're a Penske fan and all that, but, like, you like seeing the smaller teams run good.
Yeah, no, for sure. So on to Cup. This was interesting from qualifying, I think, because Eric Jones ends up on the pole. Wasn't Eric Jones, Zane Smith, right?
Yes.
My bad. I don't know why I said it. I think I was thinking about that dude that was sitting next to us.
Oh, yeah. We sat next to the biggest Eric Jones fan I think that exists.
I don't think they exist. You remember my little spill about how I don't think that Denny Hamlin fans exist?
Well, that's what Lily was saying, too, is she was like, oh, my God, they actually exist. Like, okay, sorry if you are an Eric Jones fan, but, like, honestly, going to races, I don't feel like I see very much Eric Jones merch.
Not at all.
I like the guy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it was interesting to see Zane Smith. Sorry, y'all. I was thinking about that guy because I was like, oh, that's funny. I'm like, I wonder if he won the poll and then he went and bought a bunch of merch. And I'm like, wait, no, he didn't win the poll. Either way, regardless, I'm an idiot. Roast me in the comments if you want. So from the get-go, this was,
I mean, you had both RCR cars start in the top 10, so that was interesting too.
So this race, you think of Talladega, you think of the big one. Really wasn't a big one.
No.
At all. I mean, if you want to count
there also weren't even that many wrecks in general.
No, there wasn't at all. I mean,
you had the three car, maybe four if you consider Bowman getting a little bit of damage in the pit road spin incident. You have the 2-car wreck on the backstretch. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Other than you could argue that John Hunter Nemechek spinning out off of pit road maybe deserved a caution. I don't think so.
No,
but
I mean it was a pretty straightforward Talladega race, which was kind of crazy to see.
Which I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it's not like the greatest thing in the world to like root for or wish for or whatever, but like it kind of sucked not having a big one just because like you expect it going there.
Yeah.
But like the farther removed we get away from being at the track, it's almost refreshing to see.
Yeah, it not end in overtime on.
And like
crazy.
you actually we actually got to see like a pit strategy cycle play out, and 3 different drafting groups of cars catch back up to each other on the track. It's interesting.
It was a lot of fun to watch live.
Yeah.
I mean,
and again, I mean, we have the in-person bias, and also I will always say that if a race is boring on TV, it doesn't mean it was a bad race. It like if you're in person, because they're going to focus on certain cars.
Yeah.
But when you're in person, you can watch the battle for the free pass, the battle for the lucky dog. You can watch wherever you want and be entertained by it.
Yeah. I guess you could also add to the big one, Josh Berry obliterating a bird at 190 miles an hour.
That was crazy.
That was insane.
Saw that one on Twitter.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody in the stands got hit with any like bird guts. I think it happened on the front stretch.
Yeah, it was like in the trial, it looked like. I think that between the catch fence and how much of a gap they put between the stands, like the front row stands and the fence there because of speed, I would think no, probably.
Yeah. I think somebody said that, and I thought it was.
But like RIP to the bird.
Yeah. That was insane. So lap 43, there's a group of cars that's trying to pit. So Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch make contact and spin, collecting Ryan Blaney and giving Bowman slight damage, which didn't end up affecting him.
No, which Lily was like, "Oh my God, this is happening."
Oh well, I mean, think about how I felt.
Yeah, no, but I was about to say, granted, I think she's seen Bowman wreck out of over 50% of the races that we've went to live in person.
Fair.
So I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But he ended up being fine. I still do not fully understand what happened here and caused it. Like, Kyle Busch kinda, I felt like, got disconnected from whatever, like, the Chevys he was trying to be with and ended up with Fords. I don't know if the Fords were trying to be sneaky and pit and not really tell everybody. But, like, also, he was on the outside of Brad. So, like,
It almost looked like Brad may have decided, like, last second, I'm not going to pit. And then just didn't even wait for you're clear or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he just, at that point, just pit, you know? I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, I mean, in person, I didn't realize that Blaney's toe link broke. I was like, no, he's fine. He spun out. He's good. Justin's like, you idiot, he's stuck in the grass. And I'm like, no, he's fine. Yeah, no. It was neither of those. But he was stuck in the grass because his toe link was, I mean, it was rough.
Yeah, I mean, his back wheel was da-dunk.
It was up in the fender.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
no
bad.
bueno.
Real bad. But yeah, so the next deal is, Denny gives Christopher Bell the push of a century, and sends him into the wall.
Yeah.
And Bell takes Mr. Busher, mid-turbusher. into the wall with
Yeah.
him.
Which I think I saw a clip of Denny's podcast where he was talking about how normally, if he's the second place car in line, he will push all the way into turn 3, and turn 3 is where you need to start backing off. But also, notoriously, the bumpers on Toyotas are not good at pushing or taking pushes at Talladega.
Yeah.
Or Daytona or Atlanta, it really seems like.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if this is an instance of two bumpers that aren't great at something being right there, or if Denny just got over aggressive with how much he was pushing in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to lean into a little bit of both of that.
Yeah, I think it's a collection.
I mean, he didn't mean to do it.
No.
You're not going to wreck your teammate.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not.
I mean, as much as I don't
that.
like Denny, I'm not going to be an idiot and sit here and say, yeah, he wrecked him on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but, like, it happens. I mean, because you're trying to push and get up to speed as fast as possible, because once you get up to speed, you can make moves, potentially, if this car was able to
make moves. Yep. Anyways, so Kyle Larson wins stage 1. I think that's like the first time he's ever won something on a super speedway.
Atlanta this year.
Oh yeah.
Well,
true.
a true super speedway, yes.
Yeah.
Drafting track, I think this is literally his second one though.
Yeah. So then, stage 2, Bubba Wallace wins stage 2, and Joey Logano absolutely loses his mind because Cindric pushed
Didn't wreck him.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, literally, that's it. There's, like, you could sugarcoat it all you want and try to defend Joey if that's your thing, but I mean, I don't. I'd like to just be a fly on the wall at the Penske meeting.
Yeah.
Because if I'm Austin Cindric, I'm wearing the wreath.
Oh,
still.
Yeah. Still. From
I'm walking
showering
in there.
with that thing on.
I'm walking in there with the wreath on, setting the trophy on the table.
Be like, all right, Joey, you want to say all that one more time to
Yeah,
me?
you want to say it to my face?
Yeah. But I mean,
they're teammates. They're professionals. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They should.
They should. It'd be nice.
Austin Cindric's better than Joey Logano? Are we ready for that conversation?
I mean, we did.
Joey Logano does suck. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Until Penske figures out midway to playoff time of the year, he's nowhere to be found. He had the worst season of a champion ever, and now he's on the worst start of a season ever by a defending champion.
I mean, I said at the beginning of the year when we talked about our playoff hot takes that I think Cindric is a contender for the Final Four.
Yeah.
I know that sounds wild to say,
but
the way the schedule lies, that's
no. I think, and especially after watching Talladega this weekend, I think that hot take has a decent shot at.
If it's not this year, it's a few years.
Not to get ahead of ourselves or anything, but like the championship races at Phoenix and Penske's good there. So if he makes it, does Austin Cindric have a shot at a championship?
I mean, I think so.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean that was my biggest hot take at the beginning of the year.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far, it's still hot, just in a different way.
Yeah,
I guess that's a way to say it. But after this, in stage 3, Anthony Alfredo leads 19 laps in a part-time car from Beard Motorsports, like we talked about earlier.
I mean, he was controlling the race.
Yeah, no, I mean,
top to bottom.
Yeah,
not making bad blocks,
no,
like making really good calculated moves.
He's definitely, I think, someone from Xfinity to consider to come to Cup.
Well, I think he has ran Cup before.
He has?
Yeah.
Okay.
He ran the 38 car at one point for a little bit. He's been one of the
back and forth,
running different stuff. He's a good person for like the one-offs at super speedways is what it honestly comes down to.
Yeah.
And that's not talking bad on him. That's more
No.
giving credit where credit's due. He's good at that kind of racing, and you put him in a Cup car, and he's still good at that kind of racing.
Yeah, I mean, he did really well. I mean, I didn't expect him to be leading for as long as he did.
No, I mean last year when me and Lily were there, BJ McLeod was in the same situation that pretty much Alfredo was this year. So
Yeah,
fast pasta.
So Austin Cindric wins the race. Thank God. I was very happy for this. Sad that my wife Mal wasn't there, but she was watching literally the entire race, which to get her to watch a race on her own, I don't think I've ever seen it actually happen. But she was like, of course, the one that I don't go to.
That's how it be sometimes, you know?
You know. But our top 5, Blake, you got it up.
Well, I'll just give top 10 like we did for Xfinity.
That works. Sorry.
No, you're good. So, your winner was Cindric. Second place, Kyle Larson. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even sarcastic. That's just
actual wow. Like,
yeah. And I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here for a second. If it was somebody other than Larson, is there a move being made? Because Larson does not consistently finish these races, and these are the points of the year where he loses points.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not Larson behind Cindric, is there a shuffle to be made?
Yeah, a last corner pass. Try to
shove
pass.
him off in the coming off the turn and try to make a move in the tri-oval. Like, William Byron finished 3rd. Noah Gragson finished 4th. Great day for him. Mm-hmm. Great super speedway racer. Chase Elliott came home 5th.
That's crazy after that speeding penalty also.
I mean, the Hendrick cars were really good.
Yeah. I mean, didn't all 4 finish?
All 4 were in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hocevar finished 6th. Great day for him. Honestly, not a shock because he almost won Atlanta. And if it was one thing we did kind of gloss over was so if it wasn't for Ross Chastain blocking the pack of Toyotas when they were trying, so when, like we were saying, that a fuel run, like pit strategy, all that played out, when they were going past him, he sat in the middle of the track to disrupt that group.
Yeah.
Because it was mostly Toyotas.
Yeah.
That also affected Hocevar because Hocevar was leading that group.
Yep. And Hocevar just came on pit road for that and just whooped all of them off of it.
And just led that pack, that group. Alex Bowman comes home 7th, Bubba Wallace 8th. Daniel Suarez needed a great finish, got a great finish, finished 9th. And Austin Dillon with a top 10.
Surprise, surprise.
He has as many top 10s this year as your defending NASCAR Cup Series champion. How cash money of him is that?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's about all we got on Dega.
If you've never been to Talladega, I suggest go.
Oh my gosh, go, please. It's so much fun. I mean,
buy your tickets in advance to save money.
And
I will give that tip.
If you do go, if you can find the distance from the bottom of the bleacher to the bottom of the stadium folding seat, and make sure that your cooler is below that.
Oh yeah.
Mine was not, and I was sitting there straddling my cooler the whole race, and I was so upset. But yeah, just a little tidbit if you decide to go to Dega. And you can, and I'm gonna say this, like, I've never been out on the boulevard or whatever, but I'm going to say this. You can go to Dega and not go to the boulevard and still have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Camping adds a layer to it, or I've never camped there. I've been on the boulevard. I went to the concert and everything last year for my birthday weekend. Me and Lily took a trip up. We stayed in a hotel about 25 minutes away. You don't have to camp. You don't have to go to the boulevard, but if you do, that adds stuff to it. But, I don't know. I mean, it's just the vibes there are different than...
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, Atlanta for sure, because that's kind of your measuring stick right now.
Yeah.
But, the Daytona 500 is a huge event. I've been to it multiple times. And I mean, it's like comparing apples and oranges, honestly. It's hard to compare those two, but, like, I still like Talladega as a track more than I like Daytona as a track, and I consistently will go to Talladega.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I can only compare it to Atlanta,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on to the next race this weekend, will be in Texas at Texas Motor Speedway. Arguably the most mid-track that we go to.
Yep.
So, 2022, Tyler Reddick won. 2023, William Byron won. 2024, Chase Elliott won. Now, the interesting thing here is all of the points-paying races with the next gen have been won by a Chevrolet, because in 2022, that's when Reddick was still with RCR. But in 2022, they also had the All-Star race, and Ryan Blaney won that. So Chevy's kind of dominated so far, winner-wise at least, at Texas, other than the All-Star race where Ryan Blaney took home the win.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting weekend at Texas for sure. You want me to kick off with picks? Or do you want to go first?
I'll go first, but let's just do we do a series at a time.
That works.
Truck, I'm picking Carson Hocevar.
Okay.
He has won there in the past in the Truck Series. I think that it would just be a nice fitting.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of the return to the Truck Series, kind of not for him.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's won there. He knows what he's doing at Texas, obviously. That's kind of just my gut pick. Also, I don't want to pick Corey Heim every week.
Yeah, totally fair.
But Corey Heim.
Add it, clip it.
There goes mine. Corey Heim has terrible luck this year so far. So even if he dominates the race, I don't know how great I feel about him winning.
Yeah. I also went with Hocevar.
Not Corey Lime.
Not Corey Lime.
Gotcha.
Not Corey Bush Lime. No, I went with Hocevar too. Pretty much same reasons Blake said. So on to Xfinity.
I'm going to go with Justin Allgaier for the Xfinity Series.
Solid.
Last year's winner was a Junior Motorsports car. It was Sam Mayer. Allgaier has a lot of experience. Junior Motorsports consistently brings very good cars to mile and a halves. I'm going to go with him. I'll let Justin explain his side of it, because that was the other person I was going back and forth of who I was going to pick.
I'm going with Larson, even though that it is kind of a last-minute surprise, like Xfinity run for him. I just think, like he said, he wants to go into the Xfinity field and embarrass them. I think that that's what he's going to end up doing.
I also think an interesting layer to it all is he's going to be running a Junior Motorsports car, which we know is a very fast, very well-prepared car.
Yeah. I mean,
when he normally runs, he runs a Hendrick Xfinity car. Yes, they share notes and they have joint competition meetings with Junior Motorsports, but it's not the same car.
No.
So there is a chance that he absolutely wipes the racetrack clean.
Yeah. Or a chance that he gets out there and sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows?
I'm leaning more. I think
it's more than likely just going to be goes out there and
he's gonna
mops the field.
Yeah, I mean, I know I didn't pick him, but like it almost feels like he's gonna have to wreck or get beat on strategy or something
like that. Yeah,
but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not changing my mind.
Yeah.
Also, don't want to see another Larson Xfinity win.
Fair, completely fair. So who you got on Cup?
Alex Bowman. I have no stats to back this. This is more of a gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Hendrick, as we saw with previous winners, has won the last two at Texas. Hendrick came off of a strong weekend at Talladega. Bowman had a great car at Bristol. No, Bristol and Texas are not the same track, I'm aware. But not for engine issues. He has a great day there. He had a great day at Talladega.
Mm-hmm.
Hendrick's on a streak. Bowman's on a good streak right now. He's due for a win, I feel like. I feel like he's the forgotten Hendrick driver a lot of time.
100%. I mean,
Twitter's
now,
always Alex Bowman's warming the seat for Rajah, warming the seat for Kyle
No.
Busch is going to come over and take it. No, he's not
No.
going anywhere. He's too consistent.
yeah.
He also, I know nobody wants to admit it, he's a great race car driver.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. I mean, like you said, I think it's unfair for him to be the forgotten Hendrick driver.
Yeah.
But, I mean, whenever Kyle Larson, William Byron, and Chase Elliott, I mean, not as much Chase Elliott nowadays, but
Yeah.
the other two are your teammates. I can understand.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I mean,
when you're not absolutely lighting everything on fire,
Right.
then, you know. So for Cup, I actually changed mine from our notes.
Yeah, I
I'm
noticed,
sure you
that.
noticed
I
that.
wasn't going to call you out on it, but you
but
did.
I will. I'm going to go with Carson Hocevar. I think that he's
going to ride the Dente all the way to victory lane.
Ride the Dente. Yeah, I think he's due for a win. It's we've talked about it. It's the same conversation we had about Ty Gibbs last year, but he never actually delivered on it.
I didn't partake in said conversation.
Yes, you did. We talked about how Ty.
Well,
Ty
I'm saying I wasn't in
the original conversation.
I wasn't. I never brought up that was more of a you kind of brought that up. We talked about it, but I wasn't saying that I definitely thought Ty Gibbs was.
No. Listen, the whole conversation that I'm saying is
okay.
That last year it was always. It's not if Ty Gibbs wins his first race; it's when he's gonna do it.
Yeah,
and it was the new guy having that conversation.
Yeah,
that has now I think shifted to Carson Hocevar.
Yeah,
not in large, but I think that it's going to, and I think that this is the weekend that he comes and wins it.
Yeah,
I mean he's ran good pretty much all season.
Yeah,
I mean for the most part.
I like the pick.
Yeah, I think it's
You think he's going to ride the Dente twice in Texas
yes,
all the way
I do.
to the finish line?
I mean, if there's anywhere in the world to ride a mechanical margarita shaker into victory lane, it would be Texas.
If not Dega,
Texas. But
what a car that would be in a fire suit to have your first win in. The pictures of you getting out of the car in a fire suit that looks like you're wearing a white button-up, blue jeans, a big old belt buckle, and cowboy boots.
Yeah.
How fitting would that be for him? You know what?
Mm-hmm. I hope it happens. I mean,
I still want Bowman to win for pick's sake and just in general, but Hocevar would be a good one to see too.
So that is all we've got for you guys this week. Again, this is the Checkered Chat. I'm Justin.
I'm Blake.
Now that Blake's not drinking
I'm
water.
not going to drown myself this week trying to get to this part of it.
You guys can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify. Listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.